Hi, this is Camille from Bakehouse Studio. Today we're making sfincione, but it's tricolor sfincione. We're going to start with 500 grams of bread flour. We use bread flour here because it has a higher gluten content, so it's stronger than all-purpose flour. We're going to add 10 grams of salt. I'm using fine sea salt here. And then you mix. And then in a separate smaller bowl, you're going to add 325 grams of warm water, 7 grams of active yeast, and 10 grams of sugar. And you're going to let it sit for about 10 minutes until the yeast activates. While the yeast was activating, I started making the zucchini layer. So I grated one whole zucchini, chopped and toasted a quarter cup of walnuts. Next, you're going to mix the wet into the dry ingredients. And then you're going to stir it until you have a shaggy dough. Now, you can absolutely knead this by hand, but because I have the tool, I'm going to use a stand mixer to just transfer it into the bowl. You're going to let it knead in the stand mixer on medium speed for about 5 minutes. Now we're going to grate some Parmesan into the zucchini and walnut mixture. A tablespoon of lemon juice. And then season with some black pepper and sea salt. I didn't show it here, but I squeezed the grated zucchini out with some paper towel to get any of the excess moisture out. We're going to take a look at the dough here, and you'll see that it's soft, pliable, a little tacky, but not sticky. So if you do the finger poke test, you're going to notice that it doesn't bounce back like a pizza dough or a bagel dough would. It's a little more tacky because it's a higher hydration and it's not as elastic. Shape it into a tight ball and put it in an oiled bowl. Cover it with saran wrap, or I'm just using a grocery bag here, and let it rest in a warm location for at least an hour. While that's resting, we're going to make the rest of our toppings. So let's do the red stripe. We're going to start with a small can of tomato paste. It's traditional to use anchovies here. I don't have anchovies, so instead for the umami flavor, I'm going to use 2 tablespoons of the olive oil from the sardine tin. Next, we're going to chop some Kalamata olives, about a quarter of a cup, season with some salt and pepper. Almost forgot a little pinch of sugar just to balance everything out. The next topping is going to be our white stripe. So I'm going to chop about a quarter of a large onion. We're going to caramelize the onions in some liberal olive oil here for about 10 minutes on low heat. Add 1 cup of ricotta cheese, season with more salt and pepper. I added a little too much pepper here, but it turned out just great. Once you're all done with the red and the white stripes, then you're going to store it in the fridge until the dough has fully risen. I can't wait to show you guys this dough. It's airy, bubbly, and it definitely doubled. You can see the little air pockets here, just little bubbles that have risen to the surface. Next, we're going to prepare our baking pan. So I'm going to use some semolina here on top of a silicone baking mat. Then we're going to stretch our dough about roughly to meet the pan size. You want to use a light touch here so that you don't disturb any of the small little air pockets. Gently place it in the pan, stretch a little bit to make sure that it's an even rectangle. Then you're going to dimple the surface with your fingers. After that's done, you're going to cover it and let it rest in a warm location for about 30 minutes until it rises just a little bit more and the gluten has relaxed. Now we do the fun part. We're going to put the stripes on. We're going to start with the green stripe, which is our zucchini and walnut mixture. Next, we're going to put our white ricotta stripe on. Our daughter wants to show off her new dinosaur. She's big into dinosaurs these days. After that, you're going to add the caramelized onions. And then you're going to add the red stripe, which is our tomato paste and olives. Now it's traditional to use breadcrumbs to top. I'm actually using ground pork rinds. It gives it a little bit more crunch and a little unique flavor. Bake it at 425 Fahrenheit for about 25 to 30 minutes. The dough turns out soft, but it has a crunchy bottom. The hard part is you do have to wait 10 minutes before you slice into it. The slice is really up to you. You can do large squares. Because it's a Tricolor Sfincione, I decided to do long strips. And I think it turned out pretty spectacular. This is the kind of make that makes me excited about street food. It's portable. It takes a little bit of time, but they're not fancy ingredients. It's rooted, super flavorful. It's not the traditional sfincione. It's humble, shareable, and deeply satisfying. If you liked this, there's more coming. Breads, street snacks, and flavors from everywhere. And if you do make it, remember to eat outside, my friends.